And how is average dealer profitability performing in the year to date from the composites that you produce at ASE?
Unfortunately, Curtis, profitability is down year on year. We're slightly behind where we were last year in the year to April, 4 months to April. Should remember that last year was a superb year from a profitability point of view, a record high. We ended up registering and ultimately selling more vehicles than we expected, and as a result the dealers had a great year. That's not being replicated this year. We're doing an awful lot of turnover and we're struggling to keep the profit.
And how would you describe the impact of self-registrations on dealer profitability?
A managed level of self-registrations can be seen as a good thing. I think we're tipping over to an unmanageable level of self-registrations. We're tracking sales data as we get out of the systems, and sales, fundamental sales, are slightly back year on year, and yet we can see from the SMMT data that registrations are up 6%. So year on year we've got a significant growth in self-registrations. Ultimately, dealers need to find real homes for those cars and actually turn it into profit on cash that they can then reinvest in the next used car to sell.
And does it look as though they're actually achieving that at the moment?
It's difficult to see as we sit here today. A lot of them are still not available for sale, seeing as they have to wait 3 months to be able to sell them. So there's a big bulk of cars sitting out there, and it's only when they are ultimately sold that we'll see whether the dealers manage to make a little bit of money, break even, or lose their shirt on them. And there is an increasing level of concern that we're going to see a drop in the used car market as a result of all these self-registered vehicles having to be liquidated quite quickly.
And which areas should dealers actually be prioritising to maximise on their profitability at the moment?
For me, it's a customer game. The more customers we can retain, the more customers we can work with, we can have as fans of the business, then the sales numbers will take care of themselves. If we're looking after retention, looking after our database, looking after the customers who really like working with us, then we get an increased level of natural sales, so we don't have to register as many vehicles to hit the target. Used car sales is always an area of focus for us, and obviously after sales with regards to retaining the customers.
And do you anticipate some average profitability picking up as we go into Q3 and Q4?
I wish I could say yes, but I can't. I think profitability is going to come down as we go through Q3 and Q4. Already there are some people seeing that they're going to struggle to hit targets and they're not going to be able to self-register in order to be able to do so. We're going to see the impact of these self-registered used cars being liquidated. Everybody's operating under huge targets as we sit here today, so they have to do so much more business even to earn the same level of profit. So from a bottom line profit point of view, I think it's going to go back slightly. From a return on sales point of view, it's going to go back even further, purely and simply because the turnover levels have gone up so much. Having said that, with the increased vehicle park that we've got out there from not only this year, but the last couple of years, we're starting to see improvements in after sales. We're starting to see the volume of hours go up, which is good for the long-term profitability of the business.
And ASE as a company is celebrating your 40th anniversary this year. What would you say have been the key factors in the success of the company? Because it has evolved greatly over the years.
It has. It's gone from a one-man band effectively to 13 offices around the world. So we've seen huge growth. But for me, our business comes down to two things. It's the people that we work with and the people that we have in a business. We are a people business, and we rely very heavily on those people, and we train them and develop them and work with them to do that. But also the ethos of the business is driving dealer profitability, and that has remained from day one to where we are today, and that works well whether we're working with the dealers who are obviously looking forward to improving their profitability, or working with brands, because profitable dealers sell more cars, they sell more parts, they can invest on behalf of the brand. So the ethos of the business is to look to drive profitability was there at the start, and it still remains there today, and is one of the key success factors in our business.
And what's next for ASE?
Continued growth, continued development, continued expansion around the world, but also concentration on the UK market. We love the motor trade. We love operating in the motor trade. We love the people, and so we're going to continue to work on bringing products and best practices from all parts of the world and sharing that and basically helping people make more money. And if we do that well, then we'll grow as a business as well.